everybody, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining you, as always, is myself, the host, Trent Dialton, or some of you might know me as Tricky, as I'm most commonly known as when on this podcast. But, geez, what a week it has been, and now it's time for the serious stuff. We have 8 teams left, and we're going into finals. We get the week off. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the week bye. Maybe the wildcard round will come in next year. I'm not too sure, but we now have the 8 teams. We have the 8 teams set in Sydney, Port Adelaide, Geelong, GWS, Brisbane, the Bulldogs, Hawthorn, and Carlton are the remaining teams who will play off in the finals, with the first game being in a week's time it's a Thursday night. Footy is back the 5th of September. But there was also another thing that was announced this week. So obviously we'll go over what we learned from this week and the team of the week, a Marty Party 22, as well as what we will go through now is just trying to see something. No, he is in. So what we're going to go through now is the All-Australian squad was named. So let's go through who was named and who would possibly was stiff to miss out. So let me just load that one up. As we go latest news, here we go. I've already got it open. So the All-Australian squad is announced. Now, the people who will go by club. Adelaide had no one named. Let me know if you think someone should be named. Brisbane had a total of 5 people named. So Captain Harris Andrews, who's a 2-time All-Australian. 29, 2020 All-Australian squad. Oh, yeah. 2-time All-Australian. We also have Joe Danaher, Lockie Neal, and Cam Rayner, who has never previously been All-Australian, been rewarded for his great, more second half of the season, I reckon, and Dane Zorko, who has been a 2-time All-Australian, I believe. I look at it there. Then Carlton had the 4, Patrick Cripps, Charlie Curnow, Harry Mackay, Jacob Wiedering, who surprisingly enough has never been an All-Australian, but he's been in the squad a total of 4 times. He's been in it the last 4 years, as a matter of fact. Collingwood had 2 people. Darcy Cameron being rewarded for his exceptional season in the ruck for the Pies. Never previously been All-Australian. And Nick Dacos, the other one. Essendon just the one with Zach Merritt. Fremantle had 5. Andrew Brayshaw, Jordan Clark, Luke Ryan, Caleb Sarong, and Hayden Young, who Jordan Clark and Hayden Young have never previously been All-Australian. The Cats have 3, Jeremy Cameron, Max Holmes, who's never previously been All-Australian, and Tyson Stengel. Gold Coast have the 2, both have never been All-Australians in Noah Anderson and Sam Collins. The Giants have 3, Brent Daniels, who's never been All-Australian. Jesse Hogan, after winning the Coleman with 69 goals, never previously been All-Australian. And Lockie Whitfield, who was All-Australian in 2018. The Hawks have 3. Massimo D'Ambrosio, been rewarded for his exceptional season. He's never previously been All-Australian. Dylan Moore, another one being rewarded. Never previously been All-Australian. And James Sicily, who was All-Australian last year. Melbourne had the 1 in Max Gawn, who 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a 6 times All-Australian. North Melbourne have 2, both never previously been All-Australian, in Harry Sheasel, and my pick for the ruck role and ruck position, in the All-Australian team, Tristan Cherry. Port Adelaide have 3, Zach Butters, Jason Horne-Francis, who's never been All-Australian, and Dan Houston backs up his All-Australian blazer from last year. Richmond have no one. Jack Sinclair for the Saints, who's a 2-time All-Australian. Sydney have 4, Nick Blakey, never previously been All-Australian. Errol Gordon, Isaac Heaney, and Chad Warner, who's never previously been All-Australian. The Eagles have 2, Jerry McGovern and Jake Waterman, who's never previously been All-Australian. Breakout season for Jake Waterman. And the Bulldogs have 3, Marcus Bontempelli, Bailey Dale, and never previously been All-Australian in Adam Treloar. So let me know who you guys think was a big miss out in that All-Australian squad members, and who do you think will go through. I personally think the one person that may have missed out was from the Gold Coast Suns. I really think Sam Flanders has moved, especially he started the first half of the year to half back, but even when he moved into the midfield, I thought the way he was able to impact the scoreboard and still use the ball consistently well. I thought Sam Flanders was really stiff to miss out on being involved and added to the All-Australian squad member team. I didn't necessarily think he was going to make the final team, but I thought he had a case to be in the squad. Let me know what you think about that. As we move on to the games, and we also have our tipping winners and our Supercoach winners, so we'll announce that as well. But we move on to the games of the week. So Friday night, it was Melbourne v Collingwood. Excuse me. And it was the Pies who got the job done by 46 points. Pickett and Stolstrip kicked 2 each for the Demons. Nick Dacos, Bobby Hill, Cameron and Lipinski all kicked 2 for the Pies. Nick Dacos had 40 disposals to go on with 2 goals, 9 clearances, 11 marks, 10 inside 50s, 11 score involvement, 675 metres gained. A great game by him. His brother Josh Dacos off the half-back flank also had 40, so 80 between them, going at 82% efficiency. Lipinski also had 30 with his 2 goals, 12 marks, and 8 score involvements. And leading the way for Melbourne was Salem with 26 disposals and 7 rebound 50s. Now, the talking point is, has Nick Dacos done enough with that 3-vote poll to win it this year? Was stiff last year, obviously going down with injury in the latter half of the year. But has he done enough? It's going to be a really interesting Brownlow medal count. So I just think it's going to be, I don't know. I feel like he might have done enough, but Cripps, I don't think Cripps doesn't get the 3. He had a great third quarter on the weekend, but Cripps, and then it's probably Bontempelli and Neil are probably the other ones fighting for it. And we moved to Saturday, and this was just a thumping. Hawthorn defeated North Melbourne at Launceston by 124 points. Dylan Moore kicked 4. Watson, Chol, and McDonald all kicked 3. D'Ambrosio, Sicily, Bruce, Deere, and Ginnivan all kicked the 2. Leading the way for the Kangaroos was the skipper in Simpkin with 3 goals. Newcomb had 35 at 89% efficiency, 10 clearances, a goal, 4 goal assists, and 15 score involvements. D'Ambrosio, you can see why he was in the All-Australian. He's been named in the All-Australian squad. He had 31 to go along with his 2 goals, 5 clearances, and 10 score involvements. James Sicily hit the scoreboard multiple times with his 24, 2 goals, 7 marks, 8 intercepts, 7 rebound 50s, and 662 metres gained, just doing what Sicily does. Davis Uniacke was the leading disposal getter for the Kangaroos with 26 and 609 metres gained. Simpkin also had 25 to go along with 3 goals and 9 tackles. Cherry also had 25 to go along with 35 hitouts and 13 clearances. Has Massimo D'Ambrosio been the pickup, one of the pickups of the season, or if not the pickup of this season? Obviously, we mentioned he's been named in the All-Australian squad team, and he's just been really, really good for the Hawks. Like, Essendon didn't really make a fight about letting him go, and I was just really shocked. And they're using him a bit more off a wing, and the way he's doing, like, he's averaging 20.8 disposals a game, 4.9 marks. And he's also hitting the scoreboard. So as Massimo D'Ambrosio, I think he's made a really good asset to the Hawks lineup with his run and ball disposal efficiency from off foot. As we moved to the other game, Geelong, another thumping was Geelong and West Coast. Geelong getting done by 93 points, 26-12, 168. Defeated 11-9, 75. It was Jeremy Cameron kicked 9, Ollie Henry kicked 4, Neil, Stengel, and Stanley all with the 2. For the Eagles, Waterman, Darling, and Cripps and Reed all kicked 2. Disposal-wise, Holmes, also in the All-Australian squad, had 26 at 85% efficiency with 3 goal assists and 764 metres gained. Paddy Dangerfield really coming into his own late in the season, showing why Chris Scott manages his players the best. He had 25 with 7 clearances, a goal and 2 goal assists. Burrows had 24 at 92% efficiency to go on with 6 clearances and a goal. Zach Guthrie also had 24 at 96% efficiency, 10 marks and 10 rebound 50s. Leading the way for the West Coast was Kelly with 25, 6 clearances and 3 goal assists. Hutchinson also had 24 with 6 clearances, a goal and 2 goal assists. It was a Jeremy Cameron show, and he's really started to come in right before finals. But the worry is Tom Stewart went down with an injury now, and Lawson Humphries now. Chris Scott said they'll be right to play, but a hamstring is never what you want. So Tom Stewart was stubbed out with precaution with a tight left hamstring, and Lawson Humphries also set out the second half of calf issue. Now, they're both, Tom Stewart more, but Lawson Humphries, since coming to the side, has been really influential to the Geelong side, both driving that run off halfback. So it'll be interesting to see if they get up. Will be really crucial to that Geelong defence and the run they get from up towards the ground into the four line to get into the hands of the likes of Jeremy Cameron. Richmond v Gold Coast. Richmond 10-6-66 were defeated by Gold Coast 14-10-94 by 28 points. Bauer, Daniel Rioli both kicked 2 for the Tigers, while Long kicked 3. Flanders, Graham, Lukosius all kicked the 2. Prestia had 33 with 5 clearances. Daniel Rioli had 32 goals and 562 metres gained. Torino had 30 to go along with 14 tackles. Loston 26, 88% efficiency, 8 marks and 9 intercepts. And Short had 25, at 96% efficiency. For the Suns, Miller had 31 to go along with 2 goal assists and 9 score elements. Anderson had 30, 80% efficiency, 5 clearances and a goal. Flanders also had 29 at 86% efficiency, 2 goals, 6 clearances and 3 goal assists and 14 score involvements, while Rao also had 29, 8 clearances, 9 tackles and 7 score involvements. Tigers farewell premiership players Dustin Martin, Dylan Grimes and Marlon Pickett. We've given Dusty the plaudits he has, but I think the way Dylan Grimes held up that defence when Alex Rance retired, and more importantly, when Alex Rance went down before retiring. Obviously, because the thing about Grimes was he could play on all sizes. He wasn't a massive in height, but he could play on tall and he could play on small. He was so crucial to that Richmond defence in those premiership winning years. So he will be missing. He had a great career, as did Dusty, and obviously Marlon Pickett. What a story. The debut on the grand final and was possibly nearly won the Norman Smith medal on that day. Just falling short. Saturday night, we had Brisbane and Essendon at the Gabba, and it was Brisbane kicking 11-21-87, defeated Essendon 10-7-67. Lohman kicked the 3. Lohman and Cameron, both kicked 3, while Langford kicked 3 for the Bombers and Stringer kicked 2. Neil, who's going to make a run, making the Brownlow medal even more interesting, had 40 to go on with a goal, 7 clearances and 2 goal assists and 11 score involvements. Ashcroft really finding his feet, 30, 15 marks and 7 score involvements. McCluggage had 29 to go along with 5 clearances and 9 score involvements. Dunkley had 28 at 82% efficiency, 9 clearances and 8 tackles. Just a real bull in that midfield, Dunkley is. Zorko having probably a career best season, 28 at 86% efficiency, 10 marks at 605 metres gained, and as we mentioned before, is in the All-Australian squad. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets a spot on that halfback flank when the teams are announced. As for the Bombers, another person who's had a great season, will win their best and fairest, is Zach Merritt, 37 disposals, 1 goal, 9 score moments. Heppel in his farewell game had 34 at 85% efficiency and 12 intercepts. McGrath had 34, 9 intercepts and 11 rebound 50s. Nick Martin, 28 to go along with a goal and 11 marks. And Archie Roberts had 28 and 7 intercepts, which is one to look out for the future for Essendon. So that's looking good. Will the accuracy be the downfall of the Lions? Like we've seen their set shots, 11 goals, 21 just isn't good enough. And will it be the reason that they don't win the flag or at least make it on grand final day? Eric Hipwood in front of goal is wayward. Joe Danaher is Joe Danaher. He'll kick the really hard ones and miss an absolute sitters. Cam Rayner missed some. Logan Morris, a young player, I know some. But will accuracy cost Lions? Because it's happened a fair few times this season. As we move to the other Saturday night game was Sydney v Adelaide, and it was the Swans getting a 31-point victory over Adelaide, 18-13, 121. Defeated 13-12, 90, 31 points. Goal kickers Parker and McDonald both kicked 3 for the Swans. Amati, Blakey and Goulden with the 2. For the Crows, Thilthorpe and Taylor kicked 3. Walker kicked the 2 as well. Blakey had 32 at 81% efficiency to go along with 2 goals, 14 marks, 7 intercepts, 7 score involvements, and 673 metres gain. Roberts had 31, who reckons had a real solid year at 87% efficiency. And Mills really finding his feet down the half-back line rather than the midfield since coming back from his injury that occurred in the preseason. Had 27 at 85% efficiency, 10 marks, 7 intercepts, and 8 score involvements. Matt Crouch led the way for Matt Crouch and Roy Laird both led the way for the Crows with 28 in disposal count, while Dawson, the skipper, had 25 with 1 goal, 6 tackles, and 8 score involvements, and Saligo had 25 to go along with 8 inside 50s. Luke Parker continues his form, and it's going to be really crucial coming into the final series. I think they found something by bringing in Luke Parker. He's just so hard at it, and the way he's been able to hit the scoreboard and then go in and pinch it in the midfield, because he's going to put his head over it and get that clearance out. But the way he's hitting the scoreboard is probably something we haven't seen from Luke Parker before in his career. Obviously playing predominantly in the midfield, not forward. But this is really, really exciting, and it's hats off to Luke Parker, who struggled to find find a spot in this team. But I feel like it's a real weapon, having someone down there that you know is going to give it 120%, go hard at it, but uses the ball well and is able to hit the scoreboard. And as I mentioned before, Callum Mills finding his feet off halfback, which is good to see. But I think Luke Parker could be one of the secret weapons for the Swans going into the 2024 final series. So keep a lookout for that one. Sunday, we had the Bulldogs and the Giants at Ballarat. Do not even get me started. AFL, why would you host a Sunday, round 24, Sunday game with a rivalry like the Bulldogs and the Giants at Mars Stadium in Ballarat? It's just appalling. Like, seriously, get your shit together. But it was the Bulldogs who won this by 37 points, 14-14, 98, defeating 9-7, 61. Richards, Darcy, Norton all kicked 2, while Green, Hogan, and Cadman kicked 2 for the Giants. Richards had 29 to go along with 2 goals, 8 inside 50s, 8 score involvements, and 556 metres gained. Dale had 27 as well at 89% efficiency and 1 goal, 7 rebound 50s, and 569 metres gained. Lockie Whitfield had 42 off halfback at 86% efficiency, 9 marks, 7 intercepts, 9 rebound 50s, and 710 metres gain. Tom Green had 37 to go along with a goal and 7 clearances. Callahan had 26 to go along with 5 clearances, played a bit on Bontempelli, did a reasonable job there as well. And Josh Kelly had 26 to go along with 5 clearances and 700 metres gain. Has Ed Richards' move into the midfield been one of the best, if not the best, moves in 2024? Hats off to Luke Beveridge. Tom Liberatore went down, and we didn't know where he was going to go with that. We thought, all right, he's just going to bring Jack McRae back in and playing for the midfield. But he said, nah, I like the look of Ed Richards, who was looking very, very solid down half-back, the way using the ball at intercept. And he's like, I'm going to put him into the midfield for a bit of difference, a bit of speed and a bit of class. And I think this might be the move of 2024. It's really helped the Bulldogs pressing the ball forward, because obviously you got Bontempelli has a bit of class. Adam Treloar gets his bulk touches, but Richards has class and speed and breaks away, and he's been a real surprise packet. So hats off to Luke Beveridge for making that move and not just going back to what he knows, but being willing to make that change with Ed Richards. Carlton v St Kilda. Now, what a game. 11-8. 74, the Blues were defeated by St Kilda, 11-10, 76. Akers, the only multiple goal kicker for the Blues, with 2. Higgins, Membry, and Wood all kicked 2 for the Saints. Newman had 35 at 86% efficiency, 16 marks, 7 intercepts, and 638 metres gain. Hewitt had 32 at 84% efficiency, 1 goal and 6 tackles. Let me just readjust myself here, guys. And Walsh had 32, 9 clearances, 7 tackles, 2 goal assists, and 7 score runs. He was so influential, especially in that last quarter, running it out. And Cripps, who had a massive third quarter, had 30 goal, 18 of them contested, 8 clearances, and 9 tackles. Sinclair's had another solid season. Been rewarded being added to the All-Australian squad. Had 28 marks and 7 score involvements. And one player I'm really excited for in the future has really come on this year is Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira. He also had 25. Now, well, you thought I would talk about, obviously, the Jack Higgins snap. The Jack Higgins snap coming into it, it could have ruined the Blues seasons. Luckily, in the end, as we get on to the next game, it didn't. But the one thing I want to talk about is, does this prove why this season the Saints, for 95% of the season, have been so disappointing? When you put in performances like that, back to back, but then you chuck up garbage like you have earlier in the year. You did a really good performance against Collingwood in round 2, but since then, they've just been slow, didn't want to move the ball quick. And now it's like they've taken the training wheels off and then have gone and done this, but it's just too little too late. Like, they've shown that in the future, there's something special there, and Ross has it down pack. But it's just disappointing that it takes, when the season's over, for them to bring this out. So, I don't know what to say if they're one to look out for 2025, because they're just too inconsistent. You just can't read them. And the last game of the round was Fremantle v Port Adelaide at Optus Stadium. 9-13, 67 were defeated by 39-87. Voss, the only multiple goal giver for the Dockers, with 2. Rioli with 3. And Horne-Francis, Georgiades with the 2 for the Power. Brayshaw had 32, 5 clearances and 7 tackles. Wines had 31, 6 clearances and 7 score enrollments. Butters had 26, 16 of them contested, 6 clearances and 10 score enrollments. And a talking point for this game is Jason Horne-Francis built for September? I get it, okay? I get it. He's 21 years old. I get it. But the way he's really impacting games, I believe I heard a stat today, his last 4 games or last 6 games, he's had 20-plus disposals and kicked 2 goals. That's an outstanding stat, and he's just all class. But the way he can push forward, he's really hard to beat one-on-one. Everyone's comparing him to the likes of Patrick Dangerfield. But the thing he's got over Patrick Dangerfield is he kicks the ball a lot better than Patrick Dangerfield. So I feel like this September, if Port are going to go far, Jason Horne-Francis is going to be the reason. So maybe watch out for if that's a player that teams go after, because we know he does have a bit of a temper, as does Butters. But let's move on to this week's Team of the Week. Now, this week's Team of the Week, I'm going to start off with the full back line. Got Nick Newman, Harry Himmelberg, and Nick Vlosten. Half back line, Josh Dacos, James Sicily, and Lockie Whitfield. Centre line, Massimo D'Ambrosio, Nick Dacos, and Patrick Lipinski. Half forward line, Connor McDonald, Kyle Langford, and Jack Ginnivan. Full forward line, Ollie Henry, Jeremy Cameron, and Dylan Moore. Midfield, Jordan Sweet was exceptional for the Power. Sam Walsh and Jai Newcomb. Massive game for Jai Newcomb. Interchange, got Jai Simpkin, Paddy Cripps, Ed Richards, and Sean Manor. So there's I'm still deciding whether I'm going to continue this, but I think that might be it for the teams of the week. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll probably continue the Amari Party 22 at least for another week or 2. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see when we move forward. But now let's get into the segment that we know everyone is waiting for, and I know I'm waiting for, just so I can hear this. The Amari Party 22, let's go. Now, it's a real tough one this week, in my personal opinion, because I would say Jeremy Cameron after his bag of 9, but Jeremy Cameron is already in the squad. So I've got a real decision to make out of 2 players. I've got one in my mind, but it's just finding that second player, and I don't want to make it 2 of the same team. And a lot of these people here, actually, you know what? I got it. Is the first player I already had in mind. It's from the Hawthorn Football Club. I mentioned, was this the pickup of the season? It's Massimo D'Ambrosio. So, well done to Massimo D'Ambrosio. And while we're at it, notes. Have a look. last week? Who was it last week? Almost forgot who it was last week. Has been loaded this up. Oh, yeah, the winner last week was Sam Darcy. Pretty unanimous decision from his 7 goals. So picks this week. First one, Massimo D'Ambrosio. And the next one, this guy on a night out and on the night out, he brings so much energy, but on the field, he brings that so much energy too. And he kicked the winner in the St Kilda Carlton game. It's Jack Higgins. So well done to them two, Massimo D'Ambrosio or Jack Higgins. The poll will go live. And that's going to just about wrap up the end of this show. Now, look forward. Got some exciting things coming up in a few weeks. I got an interview coming this Saturday night. I will be recording it with a special person. He's doing a special thing for a special cause, and he's also built a special community. So I'm interested to talk to him about that. So it won't just be about sport. It'll be about self-improvement and how to get yourself on the right path, that type of thing. And yeah, really put self-improvement, but it'll be one to look out for. And also myself and Will have been in talks. We're going to review our preseason predictions. We just need to figure out sometimes that I can get Will on the same page as me, but not the same page, sorry, because he started uni back. And yeah, obviously he lives in the city, so it's a bit hard to come drive down. So we're just going to organise a certain day for that. And we're going to go over our preseason predictions and see what we got right, what we got wrong, and who had the best preseason predictions. But also, Supercoach winners, well done to Riley Worsley for winning. It's the second time Riley has won the Supercoach competition, so well done to Riley there. And for the tipping comp, the winner was JD Hawks Fan 15, so well done to JD Hawks Fan 15. Your prizes and winning amounts will be with you very shortly. And so I mentioned second place at the Supercoach competition also wins $50. So well done to last year's winner, Mavs team, Maverick Wybanger. So well done to those guys. Your winnings will be with you very shortly. And that's just going to about wrap up this week's episode. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to follow us on all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe, put in that notification bell on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify was a big one, but really share it around. And if you've got anything that you'd like me to talk about or any thoughts, send us a message on Instagram and I'll be sure to get back to you. Cheers till next week. See you later.